What is going on, YouTube? It's Dallas in LA, more like Dallas in STL. Haven't been in LA for 5 years, but not trying to change the YouTube name. Anyway, I'm back on the tube, making some fresh content for y'all. And here's what we got. It's a 1998 Kawasaki Ninja ZX-11. That's right, the big boy. The 98 ZX-11, aka the ZZR 1100 if you're overseas. But here in North America, it's, whoa, get out of there. It's the ZX-11. That's right, or I guess the ZX-11 in Canada. ZX-11. Can you believe that? So this is actually my first bike. Yeah, I wanted to buy a motorcycle to like zip around on, and at first I was looking at this like Ninja 250. I'm like, oh yeah, that would be cool, you know, yeah, 60 miles per gallon. And I thought, well, maybe I might want to drive it on the highway, you know, just. So then I'm like, ooh, Ninja 500. Oh, that's got like a cool kind of retro aesthetic. And I'm like, no, it might not be quite enough power. And I was looking at this Ninja 650, and I was talking to this guy in Arkansas. Yeah, all kitted out with bags and everything. And he's like, yeah, I'm selling it for my wife. I'm like, could probably go bigger then. And I don't know. I wanted like a 90s aesthetic bike. You know, the new ones, they got the crazy angles and stuff. They look like Transformers. I wanted something carbureted, and I wanted something powerful. I guess like at first I was thinking like a GPZ 900R, like the Top Gun bike, but those are hard to find. When you do find them, they're overpriced, and they're just old and outdated. This is, to me, this was like the perfect bike. So here's the catch, right? I told you I'd never ridden a motorcycle on the street before. I didn't have a license or anything, but I saw this online. The shop in Westchester, Pennsylvania, Motoplex Westchester. They're an Aprilia and Moto Guzzi, Vespa, Piaggio dealer. I just called them up. I'm like, yeah, I want that bike. Take my money. Put a deposit down right then and there. They're like, oh, do you ever, this is a lot of bike. You ever ridden a bike? No. He tried to talk me out of it, but I wasn't having it. I'm like, oh, I'm a good driver. I'm a road cyclist. It's like, so what's the shipping timeline look like? Ooh, it's about at least 3 weeks out. And so this is like getting into late September already. And I'm like, ain't nobody got time for that. So hopped in a rental car. I wasn't even trying to fly. I'm so over it. So yeah, hopped in a rental car and drove to Westchester, Pennsylvania. Got on this bike, and I'm like, okay, only 1,000 miles home. Never ridden a bike before. So yeah, I did some laps around the parking lot, and yeah. Well, I'll just readjust here. Okay. So yeah, it had 11,400 and something miles. Obviously made it home. Had you wouldn't believe how many people I had tell me what a terrible idea it was to get on an 1100cc bike as my first motorcycling experience, but I just took it real easy. I took the slow roads all the way home, mostly US 50, but I did take a few kind of back roads. I basically just took the Google suggestions, Google Maps navigation with avoid highways option selected. So it sent me off on some shortcuts. But yeah, so hit a few back roads through like Ohio, West Virginia. So my first day I did 125 miles. And that was from Westchester, Pennsylvania to Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, and day 2 was 275 miles. Went from Chambersburg to Parkersburg, West Virginia, and day 3 I made it to Illinois, and that was 425 miles. oh my god, I forget the name of the town I stayed in, but yeah, I stayed at this Best Western. It was a real dump. Don't recommend it. Anyway, and then the final day, I just made it home. So yeah, pulled it off. This was a great bike for the experience. The only thing is that the tires, when I picked up the bike, they had a date code from 2001. I'm on the phone. I'm like, hey, are those tires gonna be okay? And oh yeah, plenty of tread left. So, okay, I get there and they're like dry rotted and the date code's from 2001. But since put on some Michelin Pilot Road 2s. Yeah, I know 5 is the tire to get, but these were like half the price. They were cheap and they've been good. So, yep. This is where we're at. So yeah, like I said, I got it with 11,500 something miles about 2 months ago now, and now it's got 15,850. So that's 4,400 miles in 2 months. Okay, so yeah, I've been riding quite a bit. Maybe not as much as I could have, but I've been, going out every nice day. We've been having some decent weather this November, so I've been able to get a lot of rides in this month. Yeah. Oh, I know, y'all want me to start it. Do I even have the key? Alright. I do, so you want to hear it roar. So yeah, the one thing, so it doesn't have the stock exhaust. It's got this Vance and Hines dealio. It's maybe not the best setup, but I'll take it. I kind of prefer the single pipe to the double pipes, even though the stock exhaust sounds amazing. A little choke going. So yeah, it sounds pretty good. I've done some stuff myself. I've cleaned and adjusted the chain. The chain was like really crusty, but as you can see, I've cleaned it right up. Come on, focus. Go. Cleaned that right up. I replaced the brake pads, spark plugs, coolant, coolant flush. And yeah, still some stuff I need to do. The fork seals are leaking. So yeah, other than that, I don't know, that's the full deal. So it's the ZX-11. As you may or may not know, this was the world's fastest production bike from 1990 to 1995, before the Honda CBR 1100 Blackbird took the title in 96. And this is a 98 model, so this was a slowpoke. So they call this the 1100D model. or the ZX-11D. So, yeah, I haven't had it up too fast yet. I'm just going to go ahead and drop some riding clips now. Hope you've enjoyed the walkthrough, and we'll check you next time.